please.
Mossberg, Kinsey,
Here.
Parker, Klein,
Here.
Loxton.
Here. We have a quorum, so we'll go on to item number 3, approval of minutes of regular meeting held 13 November of 23 and a special meeting held 27 November of 23.
Make a motion that we approve the minutes. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Call the roll.
Kinsey,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Loxton.
Yes. We'll go on to item 4, reports from the staff, city council report.
I think everybody got the packet on the financials. So far, we're looking on the revenue side, we're up about $138,000 from where we predicted we'd be. On the expenditure side, we're down $132,000 from where we projected, but a lot of that's due to the buying the new vehicles that we hadn't projected when we did our budget. So overall, we're right on target. You can see we got $164,000 in pool cash, roughly $300,000 in checking, and then you can see the new $800,000 CD that you still have to approve later on down there. And then just for the short time we had our money in that ICS account, we made $3,000, almost $4,000 worth of interest. So that interest will go a lot higher with this new CD. Other than that, overall, the airport's in great shape financially. And I think things, and Derek probably talked about it, going to start picking up now that we can, now we've got the runways back open. Fuel cells should be back up and they can land at night now. So that's handy. And that, are there any questions on the financials? Okay, so city council, last time, it wasn't quite as exciting as it could have been. But we tabled the food truck ordinance, which we'll bring that back up here next week. I think that'll get passed. We'll have a food truck ordinance in place. Make sure we're collecting taxes on the food trucks. We did adopt the ordinance granting basically ONG a franchise for the city of Alva. That will be coming up for a vote here at the special election in February. It's a 0% franchise agreement, so it really doesn't affect anybody, any of the citizens of Alva, but what it does, it helps us as a city, because now ONG is responsible. Anytime we need a gas line moved or anything like that, to come in and do it for us. So we don't have to mess with the gas lines or anything like that. So it works out well for all of us. And then the last thing we really talked about was we got some money back from OMAG, from our workers' comp escrow account. And so they voted to basically just put that back into our escrow and keep it and apply it to next year's, what do you call that? Not fees, but next year's premiums for our workers' comp. And that's about all I have for the city council report.
Are you seeing the insurance staying stable throughout the next year then?
I think it has really. We haven't had a whole lot of workers' comp claims. And so it really hadn't affected us. That's why we're getting some money back. So, which is nice.
Anything else on the council report? If not, we'll go on next to the manager's report.
We had a pretty decent month last month for being closed for the first 10 or so days. We had $25,149.51 in total sales, $8,225.89 for low lead. Obviously all on the pump because we didn't have the truck. And we had $16,370.15 on Jet A, which is all off the pump. So $351 on oil sales and $170 on the van rental. So with hunting season, I guess some of the rental vehicles were all taken, so that one outfit used the van, and we were able to get it back for the heart doctors that landed. So that that's one of the main reasons, we got the van was so we could accommodate the larger groups, and so I think we made it work out between the two. But we always want to make sure it's available for the heart doctors. We've obviously got the runway lights. They got those put in, and realized that one real light was home to a mouse for a while and chewed up some of the wires in there. And the odals are not working, so unfortunately that's not in the runway light package deal that we got, so Williams Electric was getting with Toby and them to maybe see if there's any money left over in that FAA monies to look at those lights, the odals and everything. So if there's enough money, they can look at them. If not, then that's something that we'll have to bring up and approve to bring them back to look at the odals. Other than that, the runway lights look good. The windsock is really bright, and they're on the same timer, the same key pattern, so had a lot of compliments on the lights so far. We've had, I think, 3 nights we've had to show up to come fuel late night jet traffic, so plus we've had some avgas sales that come in after dark, so of course they can serve themselves, so it's been really nice. Other than that, well, the fuel trucks, we went and picked up the Jet A truck, the old Jet A truck, to bring back so we can use it until they're ready for us to take it back and actually work on it, which will be middle to end of January. Unfortunately, on their end, they had a guy quit, and then another guy got in an accident outside of work, which is one of their main guys, and he cannot work anymore, so they're kind of short-handed, and then they've got trailer inspections that they have to do, so kind of bad timing all around. So we went and picked it up. We're going to get it going. So main reason why I wanted to bring it back was because our fuel hose on our Jet A pump is about 15 feet too short, 75 feet. And in order to get 75 feet, we have to get a new hose reel and a bigger hose, diameter-wise. So I hadn't got a quote back on that, but I assumed it was going to be more money than we'd want to spend since we're getting a brand new above ground tank anyways. He was going to see if it would be compatible to switch that over to the new fuel tank system, but I haven't got that back yet, so I just makes sense just to get our truck back and then we'll take it back when it's time. PTO.
It's too short and too small a diameter for...
Well, it's too short to reach out to the farthest wing without having to face them towards the fuel pump. And a lot of these jets, we don't have the tow bar, right tow bar to tug them back, push them back. And they said apparently when we got that new hose and reel, the diameter of the hose and the length of the hose isn't available past 50 feet. This is what Hoydale was saying, and that's who we bought it from. And so, I don't know, that was bought before I started here, but he said in order to get it 75 foot long, it has to be a larger diameter of a hose to, I guess, to push it out. And then we'd have to get a new hose reel so it would be able to wind it up all the way. And so, I haven't got the quote or anything back on that, so I just went ahead and talked to Ronnie, and they went and picked it the avgas truck is the Isuzu. There, for some reason, it's 2 or 3 months out on PTO shafts to be available. That's what they're saying. So that's the main holdup on that. I think they've got everything ready, just to put the PTO shaft on and ship it over to Freightliner and get it programmed to where we can have it back. So unfortunately, the supply and demand is hit again. On the maintenance side, we got all the trees that we were going to cut down. We got all them cut down, and right away crew and the street department came and loaded all those up and took them today. And other than that, that's pretty much all the maintenance stuff. There was going to be some, I was kind of thinking of on this next upcoming budget on what we spent a lot on equipment so far, which has been nice to be able to keep up with the outside stuff. But I think this year I'd like to focus a little more on the terminal building. Windows, glass is getting expensive, and I keep shooting them out with rocks from the mower. And I was kind of hoping to figure out some way to just put a kickboard or something on those windows so it'll hit that kickboard before it'll hit the window. Because I broke that door, that glass. I had one glass replaced because the water's getting in between because they're old. And then I think that last one was like almost $1,600 to replace 3 panes. But I was just kind of something I was thinking about when it comes time for that, is just kind of maybe focus on some of the oldness of the terminal so far, the outdated stuff. Other than that, everything's going really well. Traffic's picking up, maintenance-wise is good. So
You said tow bar, or we don't have a tow bar for big jets. Probably wouldn't want to do that. You mentioned that in the past. That you don't really want to hook up to them to pull them around much. That's why we like the bigger parking area.
yeah, well, yeah. I mean, our tow bar works for. It's kind of weird because it won't work for a Phenom 300, and it won't work for some of the, like a PC-12. A lot of times they have special attachments on their struts that we just can't, that one won't attach to.
One side of it.
Yeah. King Airs, so far it's worked on all the King Airs, even some of the other citations and stuff, but it's just some of them we just can't. And then you go to get on that far wing, and you're about 3 to 5 feet too short. And they're parked over as far as they can without smacking the expensive.
I can't think of any other way that we could do that. I mean, we are going to get more traffic in.
Yeah.
We would like to get
As long as we have a truck, we're fine.
We're
Okay.
probably able to get through till January, really. That's what-
Well,
One of the reasons to bring the truck back there, son, is that, that's a floating date is when they can work on it.
Yeah.
And why have it
Yeah.
sitting up there if we can use it here?
True.
And until they can give him a firm date that they can actually start on, it doesn't make sense to have it up there,
It might be like February, March.
Yeah. And that truck wasn't the one giving us the problems, it was the little, or the little lead truck.
Yeah.
and I will say, when I talked to Hoydale about that hose and everything, they're the ones who put in the above ground tanks at Woodward and somewhere else. He said, this whole, even if we get the grant and everything going in January, he said a lot of those is 6 months out too, just like the lights were. Like, well, we waited almost 8 months for the runway light stuff, so I guess we're kind of used to it. So I guess we should just be aware that even though could get started in January, February, it probably won't be a fast process either.
So we just need to make sure that on the new system that it has a 75-foot hose.
Yes. Yeah. And I'm hoping that it's a double hose, mainly because it's nice to have a nozzle and then a single point. But it's also would be nice to make sure they're the quick change like this one out here, because if you get two nozzles, when an MU2 or something comes, you can double team those so you don't have to go back and forth so many times.
That keeps you away.
Huh?
That keeps you away.
Yeah. 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 Also, there's your legs going down the house.
Anything else on the manager report? If not, we'll go on to item 5, discussion and action on amendment number 7 to the owner-engineer agreement between city and Park Hill for the design of an above-ground jet fuel storage and self-serve dispenser system.
Did you talk with them, Steve, on this?
Total?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, we discussed it briefly after Cynthia and I asked him what we're this for, so he told me. It's basically a standard amendment. We did one, we did 6 for what, the lights? Yeah.
I have looked at the estimate that they had done in order for us to send it into the OAC. And it looked like what their agreement pretty much follows line by line what they put in the estimate. The one question I had is this cost of the topical survey. Am I missing the line item in the bid or the quote where that was, or is that coming out of the contingency area? Do you know?
I don't know that for sure.
Because I couldn't find, if you go to page 2 of their amendment number 7, so that topical survey is E lump sum 4,100, but I can't find over here, if you go back to their estimate they provided us, I could find every other line item except that one, unless it's worded differently on the estimate.
It is right here under task 8, Sierra Delta, geotechnical investigation report. That's all that is, the geotech report.
Right. Did you know where it is on this?
On that one, let me look. I got it.
I was just curious. I didn't know if that was...
I saw right here under this task on the back of this page.
Right, so that, yes.
Yeah.
I saw that. And I can find all of these other line items on this estimate, except for that.
I didn't print that part off. Can I look at it?
You can- So I just didn't know if it was worded differently on there, or if you knew.
Oh, yeah, right here. Geotechnical investigation.
So that's,
What's that?
so is that C?
Uh-huh.
So, but see, that's 40, so what's this 4,100 then? Because that's 5,000. And that 4,100 matches up to the survey. And see, that says topographical survey right there.
Yeah, that's different than the geotech report.
But this group here is,
This was for the geotech. That's why they're boring down 15 feet, check the soil surface of the soil stability.
but these people, where are they? That 4,100 right there.
That's, let's see. My guess is that's going to fall under engineering plans and specifications. We can ask Toby for sure. What that's fine.
Well, I was just
No.
curious, because I couldn't,
Could correlate the two.
right, I couldn't.
Now, my guess is that they're getting a survey done so the engineers can draw up the actual final plans.
Right.
Uh,
So you think it falls under that?
I think that's where it falls under is engineering plans and specifications, because that's where they're going to survey and put in the exact dimensions where they're going to put everything. And it does, that's why geotech, where they're boring into the ground to check the soil stability.
So then, the follow-up question then is, do you know, I mean, this is where we're gonna put the
Right.
system, why are they way over here?
I have no idea. I don't know, unless it's the hose link you gotta have to get out there, I don't know if that doesn't make sense to me. I guess.
Where's the tank, the present tank at? It needs to be pulled.
It's right here.
Because then maybe that's what
And that's part of it, probably
Yeah,
include taking
but
that out.
Okay.
it extends way back.
Oh,
It's this direction, underground. There's two manholes.
Okay, I was just curious, because they,
Back
Yeah.
here.
and because they talk about utilities, to my knowledge, all the utilities down here run north
Yeah.
and east. I don't think, outside of what's right here, I don't know of any utilities in that area right now.
Shouldn't be, we need to work, we have to mark them, sure.
Right. So, okay, that
There
answers
is
my,
a-
because I wasn't sure about where that.
Yeah.
on that.
And that should be, the engineer, part, so you gotta have that, the engineer thing.
But that was my find, is that they pretty much, everything was following their cost of what they were listing in their sheet here was following what they had put in the estimate.
So, we need a motion.
So were you happy with everything that Toby you and him discussed then? You felt comfortable with it all?
In terms of us, you talk to him, he's good.
I make a motion that we approve amendment number 7 to the owner-engineer agreement between the city and, well, how should I word that?
Because we can't approve it for the city.
We recommend approval, that we make a motion.
It's between the airport and the parking.
Yeah, let me see if I can word this. I make a motion that we approve amendment number 7 to the owner-engineer agreement between the city and Parco for the design of an above-ground jet fuel storage and self-serve dispenser system.
Second.
We got a motion second, call the roll, please.
Kinsey,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Logston,
Yes. We'll go on to the next item, number 6, discussion and action to authorize city business manager to invest $800,000 amount determined by the airport commission from the city of Alva pooled investment account into a traditional CD at Alva State Bank for a term of 6 months at an APR of 5.55%, APY of 5.69%. Any discussion on that?
I'll make a motion that we authorize the city business manager to invest $800,000 into a traditional CD at Alva State Bank for a term of 6 months at an APR of 5.55% and an APY of 5.69%.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Call the roll, please.
Kinsey,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Logston,
Yes. We'll go on to the next item, remarks and inquiries by airport commission members. Anybody have anything? If not, we'll go on to the next item, remarks and inquiries by citizens. And we have none. Next item, number 9, is to adjourn.